Well, hello, this is Andrei Sannikov and my video blog Belarus File. Today we continue to talk about the so-called presidential election in Belarus. Why so-called? Because there never was any free and fair election after 1994 when Lukashenka was elected as the president, the first president of independent Belarus. I promised to talk about the leaders of this presidential campaign. I would call them leaders of the process of changes, because that's what we all in Belarus want to see in our country. There are three persons who are obviously leading the whole process. This is Viktor Babaryka, the former head of the Beltransgaz bank in Belarus, who is already, as he claims, have more than 300,000 signatures in supporting his candidacy. There is also Sergei Tikhanovsky, who is not running, but whose wife is registered as the potential candidate and has initiative group which is collecting signatures. And there is Valery Tsepkalo, who is the former ambassador of Belarus in United States and my former colleague as the deputy foreign minister of Belarus, and he is known in Belarus as the one who organized the high-tech park, which is quite a successful enterprise in Belarus. So these are three leaders, and they are all under enormous pressure. As I told you, the first one, Sergei Tikhanovsky, who actually is we can call him the protest leader, is in jail. He was arrested in the end of May for taking part in a very legal gathering to collect signatures for his wife, and he is now being in prison accused of some criminal activity. It is not clear yet what kind of activity. One of the sources say that it is the organization of mass disorders. And now he is in a solitary confinement, thrown in a solitary confinement in the Volодарka prison, which is the prison of the Interior Ministry, and his situation is quite worrisome. The second is the banker Viktor Babaryka, who is leading as concerns the signatures collected in his favor, and he is also under pressure because they are definitely fabricating the case against him for embezzling the huge amounts of money, for evading tax payments, and so on and so forth. 15 of his friends and colleagues, former and present day, were arrested, as could be read from what Lukashenko was saying, were tortured because there were night interrogations, and my view that he will be arrested very soon, because he is probably the strongest opponent of Lukashenko, because he comes from nomenclature, and he is quite an interesting figure and candidate for the nomenclature in Belarus. And the third one, Valery Tsepkalo, is also being threatened. Lukashenko was openly using obscene language and hinting on some personal facts that he knows from KGB. So that is what is going on in Belarus. And I would like to say also about the activists that, for example, and opposition leaders like Nikolai Statkevich and Pavel Severenets, Maxim Viniarsky and others, there are more than 100 people arrested as of today. And they are being held in horrible conditions. Where they are held, they put on purpose. They put chlorine on floor to make them inhale all this poisonous liquid. They are not allowed to get any food parcels, which was very important, and the relatives also always did, especially when the people are in difficult condition, because the food that is served in prison, you can imagine the quality of this food. And in general, there are activists that are being held in prison, and even after their terms are expiring and they are about to be released, they get new terms, as happened with Nikolai Statkevich today, with Pavel Severinets, with Maxim Vinyarski and others. So the situation today in Belarus is horrible, and it reminds the crackdown of 2010, although it is happening already before the elections. And it is quite important to have strong reactions international, because we are reacting in Belarus and outside Belarus, but we need international reactions from important international organizations, human rights organizations, intergovernmental organizations like European Union. There is a call from the European member of European Parliament, Petras Auštrevičius, to introduce sanctions against Lukashenka regime. And I think it is a very necessary measure today to save the people's lives. So please do react if you see this, my appeal, and stay tuned. I will be informing you about what is going on in Belarus, and my next blog will be dedicated to the myths, very common myths about Belarus that are probably not true. So please stay tuned, support me if you can, share this short video, and Живе Belarus, long live Belarus.